Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the product rule. So what if we had two functions multiplied times each other? Well, the derivative of this thing right here would be the derivative of the first times the original of the second, plus we leave the first alone and multiply that one times the derivative of the second one. So an example here would be something like x to the fourth times 3x plus 1 or something, I don't know. So you can simply just distribute this this 4. So you can just simply distribute this 4 and make this 3x to the 5th plus x to the 4th. And using the power rule that we know before, well, this derivative will be 15x to the 4th plus 4x cubed. So keep this in mind when we're about to do the product rule. We should get this to the same location. We should get, the same answer. So let's go ahead and see what we need and plug it in. So never mind, I'm gonna go ahead and put a box right here. So now it's telling us that we need a f of x, a g of x. Well, they gave that to us already. F of x is just the first, x to the 4th, and g of x would just be the 3x plus 1. Now we need an f prime of x. So f prime of x is equal to 4x cubed. G prime of x is equal to 3. So now let's go ahead and plug into the formula. So f prime of x, say, is 4x cubed times our regular g, 3x plus 1, plus, separate that one a little bit, plus, well, we leave f alone, that's x to the 4th, and g prime is just equal to 3. Well, you're probably realizing that we're about to get to the answer, but 4 times 3x, 12x to the 4th. 4x cubed times 1 will be itself. And over here, plus, well, 3 times x to the 4th will be 3x to the 4th. Now we can combine our like terms of 12 and 3. And voila, 15x to the 4th plus 4x cubed. So remember, you can always do it a simpler way, but if the directions tell you to use the product rule, you have to use the product rule. And since we haven't learned any derivatives of e's or ln's or anything like that, let's use an example of a derivative that we did use. Let's use something like x to the 5th times sine of x. Now, in the previous videos, we learned from the limit definition that the derivative of sine of x is just cosine of x. Keep that in mind. So what our formula say we need? It said we need our f prime of x times g of x plus f of x times g prime of x. So let's label them. Like f of x is x to the 5th. And they're like g of x is sine of x. So here, the last one, you could have just folded through and just used the power rule. Here, you can't. So this is an example of where one of the ones where you have to use the product rule. There's no other choice. So let's get f prime. So from our power rule, we know f prime is 5x to the 4th Excuse me. And we know g prime of x is equal to cosine of x. So let's just go ahead and plug them in. So f prime is 5x to the fourth times our regular g, which is sine of x, plus our original f is x to the fifth times our g of x, which is cosine of x. So most teachers will just let you leave the answer like this, but if you want, you can realize that both terms have an x to the fourth in common, and you can factor one out. So either answer should be acceptable, but this will be in its simplest form. Check me out on the next video. We'll go over some quotient rules.